Okay, now that my demolition is pretty close to being complete, not complete yet, but kind of complete, uh, I'm really thinking about, okay, what am I going to do to this bathroom? All right, so the first thing that I am looking at is the vanity. So here is a picture, spec sheet of the vanity. Let me show that to you. Alright, so basically this is what it's going to look like without the top. And then the top, I got the dimensions right here. So then I took that information and I transposed that onto the wall. So I can kind of get an idea of how everything is going to line up. Now let me show you here. Alright, so the vanity is going to come over, this is the countertop, from there, and then go down from there to the floor. By the way, when I did my measurements, I had to take into account the subfloor. Right now you're looking at the subfloor. I'm planning on putting another floor on top of that to get this all leveled out. So I increased my measurement of the height of the vanity by like 5/8 of an inch in order to determine, because I'm going to have the vanity sit on top of it. So I haven't done my floor leveling yet, but I'm just trying to get an idea of how it's going to land on this wall. So this here's the countertop height. Let me come over here and show you real quick. So right here is the height of the countertop to the top of this blue line. Then there's a backsplash, comes up this many inches, and then I've got that height of the backsplash. Now I'm going to put a medicine cabinet surface mounted here, which is 48 inches going this way, wide by 30 inches high. So I wanted a 2-inch gap between the bottom of the medicine cabinet and the top of the backsplash. So I put a 2-inch gap in there. So this blue tape here is the bottom of the medicine cabinet, and this is exactly where it's going to land on the wall. My center line for the wall is right here. So I just measured 24 inches and 24 inches to get my blue lines to figure out how far out that's going to go. So that's what that line is there, and that line is there, and and then I just put some markings on there to kind of tell me like what it is that I'm looking for. Like there's the top of the countertop. That's top of the backsplash. Then I'm going to have a 2-inch gap. Then there's the bottom of my medicine cabinet, which is 30 inches tall. So then I came up and put down where the top of the medicine cabinet is going to be, which is right there. And then, and then I figured out the center line of the medicine cabinet, which I wrote down, which is that line right. I'll show you. This line right here is the center line of the medicine cabinet. Then I took that, and then that line is going to be important because that is going to represent where I want this box installed right here. This is the old box that was mounted, somewhere down here. And I didn't want it down here like that. I want my box up higher because I've got a light fixture specific that I'm going to use for this restroom. And this is going to be the box. This is an old work box, so you can put it in existing drywall, and then when you screw it in, the ears come out, and then the ears will grab the drywall, and then that's how this whole thing works. This is going to be mounted center line to this line right here, and then centered to this line. So it's going to get mounted right about there approximately. So once I get this in, I'm going to put that in right there. So I know that that's what I need to do. So I'm just going to prep my my drywall now, prep that hole right there. I already purchased a medicine cabinet. It's going to go in there. The rough dimensions are a little bit different, so I got to build this out slightly to make it fit. And I'm just going to be working on stuff like that right now. And basically, the hardest part of this restroom is going to be in the shower area. And I got that subfloor that I got to fix right here. Right there. Let me just pan this thing back so you can see it. So I know that I've got a subfloor repair going on right there. I am absolutely going to take care of that. It's just that I didn't want to put the time into that. And then this shower here is going to absolutely take a long time for how much time I'm going to spend in this bathroom. Now, I'm planning on putting, doing ceramic tile on the walls, and I'm looking and I'm trying to figure out how am I going to do my niche, because I want to have 1 or 2 niches. So I'm thinking about putting the niche right here, because here I've got a cable that I don't feel like relocating here. So I'm thinking that I could put my niche in here, and if I wanted to, I could take this stud out. I'm going to have to take this wire here and relocate it. Instead of it coming up this way, I'm going to have to bring it down this way so I can get either 2 niches, top and bottom, or build some type of a header thing type system. Take this 1 stud out and do 1 niche going like this back here, and then 1 or 2 soap dishes. This restroom has got to accommodate a minimum of 3 people. So, and I don't know what type of family is going to be moving in here after I sell this joint. What else? Oh, and then this shower head. I know that and then I know I stopped cutting the drywall, here and here and here, and I'm thinking about how I'm going to do my tile. So I'm going to put on a cement board underlayment. So I'm going to I'm going to bring it up to the ceiling, because I think that's just going to look the best. So I got to cut out that drywall that's going to go there. Now, the towel bar, if I take the bathtub, okay, so we know that the edge of the bathtub is right here. And if I take and follow that up, the towel bar would generally, hang on a second, I lost you on the camera. The towel bar would be, let's see, if I just followed it straight up, would be right here. But if I screwed it this way, it would be just screwing into the drywall. So while I'm at this stage, I want to figure out exactly where I want, not my towel bar, I'm sorry, my shower rod, the shower rod. Because I'm not going to do glass doors in this shower, I'm going to do a shower rod. And I'd like to know where my shower rod's going to be, so I can put some wood right there, so I could screw in nice and securely, as opposed to just into drywall. I want to go into wood, and then I could throw in whatever screw I want, and I know that is solid 100%, not just relying upon drywall, gypsum board, whatever, sheetrock. So I'm gonna, because of this pipe here, I mean, normally you would have it like just kind of flush with the tub going up, but this pipe's in the way. So if I go just as this way as much as tight this way as possible, I want to get some wood going on in this section right here. I'm going to have to measure up from the floor. I think they said normal towel rods are between 74 and 77 inches in height from the finished floor. So I'll take into account my half-inch subfloor, 5/8 or whatever that's going to be on top of this subfloor here, my additional floor. Then from there I'll go up and I'll cut it in half. I'll say 76 inches will be the center point of my shower rod, and then I want to make sure that I've got 2 or 3 inches in diameter there of good solid wood, and then figuring out, I'll just have to sister it off of this this existing stud, and whatever it takes to make that happen, I want that to happen, because I want that to be solid there, and I want that to be solid on the opposite side. Let's show you that real quick. So again, following the tub like this, normally you would just take the tub, come up, and you see this particular stud, they stopped it there, then they stopped that one there, whatever, and now it's, then there's a big gap. So I'm just gonna have to take this and just put a 2x4 in up here. There's a 2x4 right here, so I can put this up there, and then that'll give me some good anchoring for my shower rod on both sides. So the point is that while I am in this rough phase. I want to get all my wood where I want my finished products to go. Another example is towel bars. I'm going to end up, this door is coming out right here. So I already know that this door is coming out. So and it's right off of the shower. So this will be a good spot in order to put a towel bar. So I'm going to put one towel bar right here, and I'm going to make sure that I've got, a towel bar is 24 inches this way. So I'm going to make sure that I've got a good wood right there for my towel bar at 24 inches. What else? I guess that's it for now. Oh, the toilet. Yeah, this one other thing that they did here. Okay, on this toilet flange, normally a toilet is installed with a 12-inch rough-in. This particular rough-in is okay. I have finished drywall right there. I've taken my tape measure up to the finished drywall, and now the center point of this should be 12 inches. This particular flange, the center point is closer to 13 3/4 of an inch. So it's 1 3/4 of an inch too much this way. So since I have to redo this subfloor, and this flange is actually broken right there, it's cracked, so this flange has to be replaced anyways. I want to take this sewer pipe and I want to move it back this way 1 3/4 of an inch to make it right on 12 inches. And the benefit of doing it that way is that when your toilet tank is sitting right here, if I moved it forward, there would be 1 3/4 in the back, and if someone was to rough around and do something and hit that tank, they could push it back up against the wall, cracking the toilet and cracking the porcelain, everything like that. If I do a 12-inch rough-in the way that it's designed, the toilet tank should be pretty much just resting on the wall, just resting right on it. So this way, if someone were to lean back or lean against it, the wall would support that tank, and it would not disturb that bottom connection, which makes the tank to the toilet bowl itself. Alright, so anyways, that's enough of that. I just want to kind of touch on some of the stuff that I'm working on. So again, all I'm going to do is just work on the easy stuff first. This is the easy stuff. The shower is going to be definitely more time and more energy and all that other stuff. I just want to get this easy stuff done, and then I'll move on to that. So that's basically where I'm at. Plus I got an overall idea of my vanity, of the mirror that's going to go back here. It's going to be a combination medicine cabinet mirror. So that's why I'm putting a lot of medicine cabinets in this restroom, because I took out a wall. They had a medicine cabinet on the right, and there was a medicine cabinet here in this empty cavity right here on the left. Well, I'm going to replace that one. Plus, I'm going to give them a 3-tier. It's a 3-tier frameless. It's like, and it's only $150. From Home Depot, one of those Glacier Bay deals, and it should be just fine. So there'll be plenty of storage needs for these, however many people live and use this restroom. What else? So I got the vanity identified, the subfloor, not the subfloor, but the actual floor itself. Now, in this particular bathroom, I think I'm just going to go with a linoleum product. I may flip-flop on that, and I may end up going with a ceramic or porcelain tile. Of course, porcelain, I use the term porcelain ceramic synonymously, but generally speaking, porcelain is superior to ceramic because it has 3 times the PSI strength and everything. So if you can get a good deal on porcelain, and you have a choice between porcelain and ceramic, you always want to go with porcelain over ceramic because it's a stronger material. What I mean by the the PSI rating, that means like on a drop test. If you would like to drop something like a glass, a drinking glass, you were to drop it on a ceramic tile floor, you could potentially chip it. But on a porcelain tile floor, it's 3 times stronger. The chance of chipping that tile will be 3 times less likely than ceramic tile. So, and by the way, about $1, right? You know, this is 2017. If you can get $1 square foot, that's pretty good price. If you can get $1 square foot for ceramic or $1 square foot for porcelain, that's a really good price. So, but I'm wanting to go with linoleum, not really caring about the price. Number one, the linoleum doesn't have grout lines, so I don't have to deal with the grout. It's an easier installation, and when you step on it, it's warmer on your bare feet to ceramic tile. So there's really good benefits to using linoleum if you can get a good surface. I mean, a good, adhered to the floor really well. And I'm going to be putting down another floor on top of this floor, so I'm going to have a nice, perfectly, hopefully level and nice floor to deal with. So it should work out well, so long as I can get a color or pattern that I feel comfortable with for the restroom. Oh, color choices. For the walls, I'm thinking Navajo white. For the ceiling, white. Ceiling's going to be just standard flat white. Walls, I'm going to go with semi-gloss Navajo white. What else? So, the trim. The trim on is going to be semi-gloss white. So doors and trim white. The baseboard, it's not going to be as plain as the baseboard I took out of here. I think it's 2.5 inches in diameter. Which reminds me, there's one more thing here. All right, so we've got this water line for the toilet. A lot of guys that do that roughing on the water line never take into account the molding that goes there on the wall, so they'll install it too low. This particular one is installed about 2 3/4 of an inch above this floor. So, and this isn't even my finished floor. I'm still going to come up higher than this. So if I go with 2.5 inch molding, then I might have to, if I wanted to do it perfectly, I'd have to take this, break this out, and then take this here and raise it up a couple of inches. I hate doing that because that's just kind of a pain in the ass. We'll see if I have the energy and if I want to get into that. So that's one of the things I was thinking about, though, to see how that was going to interact. All right, so there's a lot of different things. Excuse me. There's a lot of different things that you need to take into consideration, and all these little nuances. The water line for this, and all this other stuff, and how it's all going to interact, and how it's all going to fit together. So I'm just going to start on this far wall over here, which is kind of like the easiest part of the restroom. Work my way towards the shower, and go in that direction to get this bathroom finished up. All right, so that's it.